Hare Krishna. Welcome to Tax Guru YouTube channel. This is CA Rohanar Pingle, practicing chartered accountant based in Mumbai, also partner in Motilal and Associates LLP, member firm of Marks Network. Welcome to video series GST Relearn. And today is part 16 and we are going to discuss topic job work under GST. So let's dive into it. Let me allow to share my screen. Yes. So today we are going to discuss job work under GST. Let's see what we are going to learn. First, we will see meaning and concept of job work, then legal framework, relevant sections and rules, then registration requirements for job worker, inputs and capital goods seen for job work, time limits for return of goods, treatment if goods not returned within time, input tax credit implications, waste and scrap generated during job work. We will see also that movement of goods, e-way bill and documentation, valuation and invoicing in job work, whether was manufacture and service, practical examples and case studies, key advanced rulings, compliance checklist for principal and job work. And at the end, we will also see conclusions that key learnings and practical insights from today's learning. Say stay tuned till the end and also make notes if you want. Okay, let's start it. Meaning and concept of job work. Section 2, subsection 68 of CGST Act 2017 defines job work as what? Any treatment or process, any treatment or process undertaken by a person on goods belonging to another registered person. Very, very careful. What? Any treatment or process undertaken by a person on goods belonging to whom? Belonging to not other person, belonging to another registered person. Very important. Belonging to another registered person means goods should be belonging to registered person. Then only you will cover under job work. Principal, the person who owns the goods, and also we can say it as a registered person under GST. Job worker, the person who performs the process or treatment on such goods. Principal is the person who owns the goods. Job worker, the person who performs the process or treatment on such goods. Essence is what? Ownership of goods remains with the principal. Ownership of goods remains with whom? The principal. Only physical possession is transferred to just to do a process or treatment on that good. So ownership is remained with the principal. So that is the legal provision as per section 2 subsection 68, which defines the job worker. Okay, let's move on. Let's see relevant sections. What is the structure? What are the relevant rules? Section 19 of CGST Act is ITC in respect of inputs or capital goods seen for job workers. So section 19 explain us the ITC in respects of inputs and capital goods seen for job work. Section 143 of the CGST Act, procedure for job work. Then section 143 talks about procedure for job work. Rules 45 and 55 of CGST rules prescribe what conditions, challan format, and intimation. And notification number 12 of 2017 Central Tax Rate talks about certain job work services are exempt. Certain job work services are exempt. So this is a legal framework till the date. is that section 19 talks about ITC in respect of inputs and capital goods sent for job worker that is used in those goods. Section 143 talks about the procedure for job work. Rules 45 and 55 talks about procedure, prescribed conditions, challan, format, and intimation. And notification number 12 2017 CTR, certain job work services are exempt. Next, registration requirement for job work. Let's see what is the requirement. A job worker is required to register under GST if and only if turnover exceeds rupees 20 lakhs and rupees 10 lakhs in case of special category states. So when job worker is required to register, principal is naturally we seen that principal is has to be registered because the goods on which job worker make a treatment or process, that goods must be belong to whom? A registered person. So principal is need to be a registered person, but a job worker is required to register under GST if and only if turnover exceeds rupees 20 lakhs and rupees 10 lakhs in case of special category states. If turnover is below threshold, job work can done without registration provided principal accounts for tax. Okay, understood? If turnover is below threshold and job work can be done without registration, provided principal accounts for tax. That is the important thing. Next, inputs and capital goods seen for job work. Principal may send inputs, semi-finished goods or capital goods, okay, from his place of business or directly from supplier to job worker. Goods sent principal may also send goods sent without payment of tax. Okay. Principal may send inputs, semi-finished goods or capital goods from his place of business or directly from supplier to job worker. Also goods sent without payment of tax too. So rule 45 sub rule 1, movement should be under a challan issued by the principal. What is important thing is that whatever movement principal taken place for the goods to the job workplace, that movement should be supported by under a challan, okay, issued by the principal. Let's see practical example. ABC Limited principal sends rupees 1000 metal rods to XYZ engineering job worker for cutting and coating. So ABC issues a delivery challan in triplicate, right? Because ABC is a principal. XYZ performs the work and returns goods along with job work invoice. Okay, understood? So that movement is supported by a delivery challan. Next, time limits for return of goods, that is return of goods from job work to principal. So let's see type of goods, inputs, capital goods, and molds, digs, jigs, fixtures, and tools. For inputs, time limit for return is within 1 year of sending. And for capital goods, time limit for return within 3 years. Okay. And for molds, dies, jigs, fixtures, and tools, there is no time limit. You can, job work can return at any time. So for inputs and capital goods, there is a time limit to return the goods to the principal by job worker. For inputs, it is 1 year of sending, within 1 year of sending, and for capital goods within 3 years of sending. If goods are not received back within this prescribed time limit, it is what deemed as supply from principal to job worker on the date when goods were sent. Very important. Let's understand it. Okay. If goods are not received back within the time, within the prescribed time, that is 1 year and 3 years, input and capital goods respectively from job worker to principal, then that should be treated as deemed supply from principal to job worker, and the relevant date should be when the goods were sent. Okay. Next, Treatment if goods not returned within time. Important. Treatment if goods not returned within time. If inputs or capital goods are not received back, it shall be, as we have just seen, deemed as supply by the principal. Tax liability arises on such date, that is the date on which goods were sent. Principal should issue tax invoice and pay applicable GST. So that the date on which goods sent, the rate effective on that date will be applied, and the principal should issue the tax invoice and pay applicable GST. Now, let's see input tax credit implications. Principal can take ITC on goods sent for job worker. Okay. Principal, not job worker. Principal can take ITC on goods sent for job work. No reversal required if goods return within stipulated time. This is very much important. Means no reversal required if goods return within stipulated time. If goods not return within stipulated time, then that ITC need to be reversed. ITC also allowed even if goods are sent directly to job worker. So principal can take ITC on goods sent for job work. No reversal required if goods return within stipulated time. And ITC also allowed if goods are directly sent to the job worker. Okay. Let's see example. ABC Limited received raw material at job works premises directly from the supplier. ABC Limited receives raw material at job workers premises directly from the supplier. ABC can still claim ITC since goods are deemed received under section 9 subsection 2. So ABC Limited can still claim ITC on that particular raw material since the goods are deemed received under section 19 subsection 2. Let's see waste and scrap generated during the job work process. As per section 143 subsection 5, waste or scrap can be supplied by job worker if registered. Waste or scrap can be supplied by job worker if registered, or supplied by principal if job worker is unregistered. Tax liability to be discharged by the person making the supply. Very important. How the waste and scrap is treated, generated during the job work. That waste and scrap can be supplied by job worker if he is registered and pay the tax, or supplied by principal if job worker is unregistered and then he required to pay the tax. Okay. Let's see movement of goods, e-way bill and documentation. What is the provision regarding generation of e-way bill for movement of goods sent to the job worker? Movement between principal and job worker requires e-way bill if consignment is more than rupees 50,000 in value, exceeding, not equal to, it should be exceed rupees 50,000. So movement between principal and job worker requires e-way bill only and only if the consignment value is exceeding rupees 50,000. So challan under rule 45 sub rule 3 is mandatory. Form GST ITC 04 must be filed quarterly by principal reporting goods sent or received. Let's see valuation and invoicing in job work. How it valued. Value of job work service is equal to charges for processing, that is labor plus overheads. So when job work return the goods to the principal, he makes a job work invoice, and that value of that invoice is arrived as charges for processing, that is labor plus overheads. So GST payable by job work on job work charges. Supply of goods by principal remains separate. GST payable by job work on job work charges. Supply of goods by principal remains separate. Example, XYZ engineering charges rupees 50,000 for machining work. GST at the rate of 9,000. Invoice raised by job worker for 59,000. Okay. So here what we have seen is Okay, 50,000 for machining work. So GST at the rate of 18% will be 9,000. Invoice raised by job worker should be 59,000. Okay. Job work, vice versa, manufacture and service. Job work may or may not result in manufacture. Means the process may result or may not result in manufacture. If it results in a new product, ownership remains with the principal. So job work still supplies what? Service. Means in case whatever the process is performed by job worker and it result into a new product, then that ownership of that particular product is remains with the principal, and job work still what supplies is a service and not covered under the supply of goods. So this avoids what? Double taxation. So ownership will remains with the principal, and principal will treat it as a supply of goods in further. So job worker still supplies what? Service. We need to understand the point of view of from point of view of the job work. Let's see practical example and case study. Goods sent to multiple job workers. GST implication is allowed must be tracked via challenge. Means goods sent to multiple job workers is allowed and must be tracked through challans. Goods sent from one job worker to another is also permitted under Rule 45, Sub Rule 1, Clause B. Export of goods after job work is also permitted. Export benefits accrue to whom? Of course, to the principal, because the ownership is lying with the principal. Destruction or loss at job works premises. So GST implication tax to be paid by principal if ITC claimed. If the destruction or loss happened at job work premises, then tax to be paid by whom? Still by principal if ITC claimed. Let's see few of the key advanced rulings. Case Tata Motors Limited, Authority of Advanced Ruling Maharashtra issue was valuation of job work. Valuation of job work. So ruling was only processing charges are taxable, not goods supplied free by the principal. So it is based, the issue was related to valuation of job work. So what is the value? The only processing charges are taxable and not goods supplied free by the principal. Next case is Motherson Sumi Systems Limited. Issue of job work exemption. So certain processes exempt if covered under notification number 12 2017. So we need to refer that particular notification number 12 of 2017 to see what processes are covered under that notification, which are treated as a exempt. So that certain processes are exempt if covered under notification number 12 of 2017. Let's see compliance checklist. Okay. Compliance, issue of delivery challan, responsibilities on whom lies with principal, and frequency will be on per consignment basis. Issue of delivery challan, responsibilities of principal, and frequency should be per consignment. Maintain record of goods, both the responsibility is for both, and frequency is continuous. We need to, means principal as well as the job worker need to maintain the records of the goods. Filing of ITC 04, the responsibility lies with principal because he claims that ITC, and frequency will be quarterly. Frequency will be quarterly. Return filing responsibility is of job worker. Frequency monthly or quarterly as applicable. So compliances are related to issue of delivery challan, responsibilities of principal, frequency per consignment basis, maintain record of goods, both responsible and frequency will be continuous. Filing of ITC 04, responsibilities of principal, frequency will be quarterly, and return filing responsibilities of job worker, frequency monthly or quarterly as applicable. So now we will see conclusions, the key learnings from today's topic. Job work mechanism ensures what? Uninterrupted input tax credit for principals and tax neutrality in intermediate process. So that intermediate process is covered, and that input tax credit on that particular goods is to do not interrupted, and that is to ensure that that particular ITC is not blocked, and principal can claim that input tax credit on that particular goods which are used as an intermediate process. So that job work mechanism is ensured that particular thing. It avoids what? Cascading by allowing supply without payment of tax until completion. Okay, so principal, when goods sent to the job worker, he has not to pay any tax, so that cascading effect is avoided till the completion. Timely return of goods and proper documentation are critical for compliance. Very, very necessary. Means job worker needs to return goods in timely within 1 year related to inputs, and within 3 years related to capital goods. Job work benefits manufacturing flexibility, especially in textile, auto, and pharma industries. Principals must monitor the movement ITC 04 filings and adherence to the return timeliness to avoid what? Deemed supply and tax liability. Means if it is not done, then it is if it goods not returned in time to the supplier to the principal by job worker, then that will be treated as dim supplier. So to avoid that, principal must what what to do is monitor the movement ITC 04 filings and adherence to the return timeliness. So that is the key learnings and conclusions from today's learning. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you are getting the valuable knowledge from this video series. Stay tuned to the Tax Guru YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed Tax Guru YouTube channel, then do subscribe it. And if you have any suggestions, queries, any observations, then please do let me know via commenting below the video. And if you like this video, please click on like and also share in your network. So bye bye, take care, see you soon. Hare Krishna.